Hey. What's going down, y'all? Hope y'all are having a lovely Sunday evening to get this week started off. Hope all your drawers are clean, or draws, or however you might want to say that. A lot of people probably freaked the F out last night, I'm sure. That was a hell of a dumpage, just going right to support levels. Oh man, welcome to crypto. If you haven't seen that, then and that really we haven't seen too big of large days in a while. Maybe it's been, I don't know, let's look back in time, probably a couple months or something at least for a large day like that. But hey, it is what it is. But guess where we all kind of been bouncing? All around the major support levels. Nothing has really even broke major trend, but I will say one thing that I think is a little bit concerning, and I'm trying to freaking log in to this other thing. Anyway, sorry. Back to the topic here. Yeah, so big super dumps, very scary. Liquidation hunt like a mofo. This is just showing a stop loss from a trade that I bought some on the dip here. But man, I'm a little sloppy in my words. Sorry, it's been a long day. Anyway, I just wanted to get a video out today because, man, I believe it's warranted that we get one today. Just given yesterday's price action, pretty much like right after the stream too. That was pretty wild. Big dumps, massive dumps. Some people are attributing it to some news. I don't really care about news, but that was pretty funny, though. Some treasury FUD over the weekend. And you can see that it just got bid right back up to like major areas. Almost every coin is just right in the middle of its range, or it's actually just looking still perfectly fine, intact, like Ethereum. Or like Dogecoin. My God, Dogecoin just wasn't I mean, look, you can't even tell that anything happened last night with Dogecoin. Like if you looked at this chart and you weren't watching the charts last night. So that really wasn't that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. Did it do any major technical Did it do any major technical damage? Maybe, but not quite yet. It is close, and there is some variance on the tails of the candles yesterday, depending on which exchange you look at, which isn't that crazy, but we did just ultimately come to the previous lows and closed up and got bid all the way past, halfway up the candles. Whenever you see stuff like that, that's generally pretty damn bullish. I mean, there's some coins out here that did Sol. What do we got? Sol, look, Sol's at all-time highs right now. It went up 30%. So, it's like it was scary. There was a sell-off, all that stuff. But, ultimately, we didn't break any major structures. Look, even on this dump, it went right to the 200 MA. On this one, 200 MA. On Bitcoin, it went below all of them. Bitcoin is definitely the one that got hit the worst, which is kind of funny. But almost every other coin pulled out like a champ, which, again, like we even talked about yesterday, the dips possibly coming up, and it's just kind of by the dip mode. Now, 55K was the level we were watching. We did immediately pretty much break that and go test its local low. But again, on the higher time frames, it's also, not even a downtrend until a daily closes below these. So, and considering this move happened in it wasn't even an hour, I don't think. It was like 30 minutes or 45 minutes or something. Pretty super wild, but these closes are very strong on a lot of these coins. There's a slight chance that some damage has been done in the long term, but in the short term right now, we still do have to lean bullish because of how these days close. And I know that sounds crazy. You're like, what the F, bro? We just dumped like this. There's some altcoins you're not pulling up that dumped like 40%. And that's true. There is some that did that. And a lot of those got bid back up and just stayed right in the middle of the ranges. So possibly could have been the first warning that we might be getting some further downside. But right now, it's just kind of back in the neutral zone. I will tell y'all one thing that I'm going to be doing, though. I am going to be trimming positions in my risk on this. So I bought some of the dip last night when stuff dumped. And it's lucky if your exchange would work. A lot of the exchanges were doing the classic, oh, errors, we can't make trades right now. So of course, when that happens, when that started happening on one of the exchanges I use, I was like, oh man, all right, y'all are liquidity hunting the F out of people right now, which they most certainly did. Now, did we close the daily below this trend line, this very important trend line? That we did. And so that is going to be what I'm going to talk about here. Like, a lot of coins do look, like Dogecoin looks exceptionally good somehow. It's pretty mind-blowing. I don't know. It's like Sol, even, where is it? Bitcoin Cash, I mean, making an outstanding recovery. I mean, look, it's just right back up to the target it got bid up to. So pretty interesting buy the dip action that we've seen here. Even in this structure, it still looks okay. Found support on the Mama and the 55. So, but what I am going to be using this moment for, let me get back on track here, is I am going to be using this to start de-risking. You might be like, well, wait, you're talking about how it looks fine and all these patterns are good. Yeah, most of them still look fine, and that is true. But the problem is, with these big tails like this, they can get retested. And a lot of times they actually will get retested. And so I think on this bounce here, for me, I'm going to de-risk and keep most of the gains that I've made in this run-up for the last, months, whatever it's been. I'm going to lock in a lot of those. I actually did it on the bounces today and late last night while I was watching some price action. I started de-risking, and I'm going to pretty much go to about, I think I'm at like 60% cash right now or something like that on that. It might even be closer to 70 because I want to see how the market digests this moves. Yeah, it's almost very natural we get a super bounce off of these levels just because it was very emotional, this selling was. But the problem is we don't, especially with Mama Bear, let's go back to Mama Bear. Especially with Mama Bear here, you see we're just coming up right into the middle of this zone. There is going to be massive amounts of resistance present right around here. All right. So I don't think that, for me personally, I don't want to have near as much risk on that I did have on prior back in this time or even before. Breaking down on this structure, I want to make sure that bulls actually can recover from this and get back above, at least over time, even if it takes sloppy action and sidewaysness. I want to see at least it come back over the Mama on the short time frames. The daily is still fine. It's above the Mama. But breaching it like this, I just want to make sure. And the way that I would quantify making sure is, let me delete this real quick. Delete that as we get back over and make some new highs. So we made lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and another one, and then fell out of the bed. So what now I want to see is we got to start making higher highs, like above 62.5. If we can start doing that and start working our way up, even if it's real sloppy, let's just get our voodoo pin out, and it's like this and comes back down here and does this. But then we get above it, retest, and come back. Maybe something like that. That would be lovely, and I would feel way better about adding more full risk. But this, if we kind of do this and start just slopping around and being kind of lame and have indecision and keep like banging on the lower end of this range, then I do think it could get very dangerous in Bitcoin land. And that's when we might be potentially looking for, coming down to the upper 48 range, which is percent-wise about 15%. And then if it wants to get real ugly, I think if we did that, I think we'd even blow past this one and probably just go to the upper 30Ks. And because Bitcoin has done that a few times, especially in the run-ups in prior years. You can see back here, I mean, there's quite a few little blips. There's a 35%er. There's a 35%er. There's like about a 30%er. And even this one, I think they're all usually around 25, 35%. Yep, there's another 35. So it's not like insane for this to happen. And let's go back to the weekly. Look, we haven't even tested the weekly either, which is something we've talked about on the show a lot. Is just like, man, one of these random days, Bitcoin is going to get really, really nasty. And we just got a fresh week. This candle printed, not surprisingly, is a massive indecision candle with a pretty fat range. Somewhere around here, between about 55 and that 62-ish area. So really, until it gets out of this candle's range, it's pretty risky. Either way, short or long, in my opinion, to be holding trades, because it just can easily roll over here to the 21 or down over here, and it can. And what's crazy is it can still be bullish if it does that. But I'd rather have extra firepower in case it does do that, and some cash on hand, so I can possibly look for opportunities. And you can't do that if you just ride 30% down. You know, it's probably going to mess up your emotional capital, and then you'll be scared to trade, and you'll be like, I'm not putting any more risk on. Screw that. It's just going to dump in my face. The market makers got me, or the manipulators, or whatever. Also, another good quick side note for this move. This is why leverage can be extremely dangerous. Some of the most losses I've taken in trading are actually from leverage. Oh, I gotta write this message real quick. Sorry to the baby mama. Leverage. We're gonna pick up on leverage in 1 second. All right. So, leverage. You know, these people doing 20, 50, 100x. I mean, do realize 100x leverage, you only need 1% move against you and it blows you up. All right. So, really, if you want to use leverage, that's fine. But for me, I will use it very rarely, but I keep it like under 5x, because then that's kind of manageable. It's not as likely to blow you out. Like if you do, 5x and 20% comes your way, you probably shouldn't be holding for 20%. And, on leverage, if you want to, then ratchet it down and only do 2x. But even when you first start, man, it's probably best to just trade spot price and do no leverage at all. So, because it just adds such extra layers of emotion on there. But that's just a side note. And this is really what this was. This was a huge clear out of people that were just mega over leveraged. Doesn't mean that it's the bottom or whatever. We're not going to sell off anymore at all. But this is definitely what that was. Everyone was super euphoric. I'm sure you heard it all about your friends. I'll buy Bitcoin. Mom's probably telling, I'm going to buy some Bitcoin now. And so this is just a little good washout. And as far as I'm concerned, it's okay as long as we're just going to be chilling and confirm that this was just that little lower leverage washout and stay above the mama right here. Then everything is perfectly fine. Yeah, this was scary, but hey, if you were sleeping and you're over in the U.S., you probably didn't even notice it anyway. But I am still going to be de-risking, because you can't just deny a candle like this and just dismiss it completely. I don't think that that's smart either to do. So on these bounces, I'm using this bounces and areas to pretty much get the majority of my crypto stuff to cash, and then I'm just going to be ready to pounce on this market if it can correct out of it, which I do think it's going to. I don't think that this is the end here, but I have to be cautious, especially with everyone dismissing the pi cycle. And I don't know, it wasn't my favorite thing or whatever, but we don't hang our hat on one thing, but it is very, very crazy that we just had, a 10-ish% rally, and then 4 days, almost 4 days of rally, and then rolled over. It's very much in line with the previous instances of the pi cycle. So it's interesting. I'll just keep it at that. That's why I'm just going to be a little bit cautious here. And plus, we broke this trend line, which we've watched on the channel a bunch of times. Boom, here it is. The same trajectories pretty much on every single bull run, right? And it only breached it for a little second right here in the middle of it in that same week. and then one right here, and then but once it actually fully broke it and then opened and closed below it, that was it. And that's every occasion. So where are we at now? We're at that risk point right here. We got the first weekly that might open and close below it. It's still got a full week left on it, so we got a lot of time, and Bitcoin could easily close above this. I mean, we just saw what it did. Moving $5,000 for Bitcoin is nothing. 5-10%, that's easy peasy. So this week is going to be extremely important for Bitcoin's price action, and probably give us a really good clue about the future of the price action too. So, let's see. What else did I want to touch on? I mean, we're going to go through some more of the charts, but I kind of wanted to just get some of that stuff off my chest and talk about just, Bitcoin and the positions where it is. And like we said, we can go down through so many of these coins, and look at this. I mean, Litecoin didn't even go to the 55. It just kind of did a little retest of the breakout zone, and then the bulls said, nope, that's too cheap. We're bringing it all the way back up. XLM is kind of just like in this posturing where it's still like in an okay area. Like a lot of these charts just don't, like the altcoins, shockingly, a lot of them don't look that bad considering some of them were down, 50%. BSV is taking a break, but look at this. Gets slapped, closes back above it. It's acting like all these other instances that we looked at before when it even still made these crazy runs. Now, it is definitely was pretty violent on this one, but, hell, this one was really violent back here, too. It pulled back about 30%. So this is very much in line for the crypto space here. Now, we start closing these below the 10 simple and the 21 and take out some of these big supports. Then, then follow through on this would be very ugly. But right now, we ain't got that, and it looks perfectly fine, especially for Dogecoin getting its party on. I mean, look at this. Look at this run on Dogecoin, man. It's like the same even with that blip, 22 cents. That's what we were talking about yesterday. As long as it's holding 22 cents, it looks fine. Literally went almost right, 23-ish cents, got bid up immediately. So we're still very much in the structures. I think I've beat the table on, or pounded the table enough on that. So, but there's also risk warranted to turn on a little bit of your like, oh shit, maybe take the moon goggles and put them on the desk for a second until price and the market can show us that this isn't going to get follow through. And that's probably going to take us another week or two. So for me personally, like some people hodl, but I'd rather get some firepower and and some cash freed up for opportunities. And plus, dude, the Bitcoin and opportunity and just opportunity and trading is infinite, period. So you got to protect your cash sometimes. And right now, Mr. Market's saying, hey, almost. What? Like maybe a little warning signal here. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, you can see Bitcoin's coming up here to rally. This is going to be a pretty critical spot to see if we can get back over about 58. That's a low time frame location. And then really 61 is going to be the next one after that. Kind of in this little range. And the Mama average is really encompassing that pretty well right now. And then if we go down to futures, which will have a very large gap down, which hasn't happened in quite a while. Let's see, what is this? You can see, though, it's pretty much right on the bottom end. This trend line, which weirdly enough provided support for that, but this is pretty irrelevant trend line. It was relevant for that low time frame back there, but not now. But yeah, you can even still see here, it's not even below the daily. It's not even a lower low yet. Isn't that crazy? So, let's see. Kind of chilling in this area. This is kind of that area in the 3 hour where we're like, man, we got to get out of this range to really have conviction one way or another. And it's a little bit more risky to take trades, generally speaking here. But, like in this high time frame formations, like it still looks perfectly fine. Let's see. Is it on the weekly? Is this where I'm trying to find another gap to the downside? I know there's one somewhere. It was all the way back here, but That didn't get any. Yeah, it's like literally actually the last gap is this one to the upside. Yeah, I wonder someday this thing will probably get filled because I do think every gap on the CME futures on a daily chart. So that's interesting. How far is that down there? Ooh, 55%. Oh my God. Probably someday that'll happen. I'm not sure if it's coming soon, but let's see. Let's go down a couple more of these. Yeah, look, XLM. How about XRP? Let's go XRP. Look, XRP closed back above it, retested the freaking 136-ish line after retesting the pre. I mean, this is it is kind of crazy. It's rather mind blowing that the altcoins have been so resilient in this sell off. I mean, look at this engulfing candle test, boom, follow through. I mean. Now it's in kind of a Bitcoin situation, almost same pattern here, right above the major horizontal, and almost has the exact same structure on the EMAs. So that's interesting. Good for confluence there. I mean, same thing, retest. And you know, actually, I didn't mention this. Let's see. On the crack time frames, we'll probably see this first. Or obviously we will, but when the 200 can cross back above the 377 with some EMA structure like this, like the shorter ones, opening up like we like to look for, then that might be the first sign of like, okay, this is likely flipping back to the upside. So let's start looking for some entries. And definitely if we start seeing that on the 3 hour, if these get reset, that's when I'm real excited for bullness back in the something. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not going to try to get too cute with that. Wow, look, Link is actually blowing up already above it. These are very aggressive moves. I mean, but I guess when you get, it's like a V, straight up V. It's going to be a V recovery, like the coronavirus dump. Could that happen? Yeah, it definitely could. Like I said, I'm using all of this action here today and these bounces just to kind of de-risk myself and then just wait because I just really want to see how this is going to play out. Come on, log in, you piece of crap. What the shit, dude? I don't know why. Oh, probably that's why. Probably gonna use the right password, huh? All right. So I'm just gonna use that now, and then we'll just wait for the reset. You know, cash is a position. I think a lot of people forget that being in cash is totally a position, and one that you need to be familiar with as well. All right, load it up. You can do it, computer. Copy, print it up. Open 2262. Come on. Sending in my code expired. What the fuck, dude? I guess I'm just gonna do that later. Stupid. This should always be breaking over here. I don't know why they said that expired. It's like it just sends me the login code, and then it's like you use it, and it's like that thing's expired, dude. Yeah, because there'll be plenty of time, and there's probably gonna be some more shenanigans in this. You know, I would not be surprised to just see some choppiness in these ranges that we're kind of back in on most coins. Some coins are actually just breaking out, like Link was. You know, Link's just like, I don't care. We're gonna go to new highs. I mean, look at this tail on this candle. That is wild, man. And look at Doge's tail on the candle. Look, it doesn't even look like anything. This I hate to say it, but dude, Doge's reaction from this really makes me think it's gonna go to $1 this year. And that sounds crazy. I don't even have like that much at all. I bought some on the dip, and I'm actually holding that with Tether and kind of Bitcoin, which is really funny. But yeah, just because it's reaction, like that's some relative strength. Way to go, Shiba power, man. So EOS, like some stuff is not above its horizontal C. I mean, so this to me is an opportunity to just kind of get a little flat. Yeah, I'll take some losses across the board on some things, you know, but it's going to be pretty small relative. I didn't have any more BSV. I actually missed this run anyway and sold like right in the green box here. It's funny. It's right back at the green box. Yeah, that's good. Usually when I do that, it comes back to test my previous entry, so that's boding well for some long entries. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to trade off of that, but it is just kind of funny. But yeah, so you can see a lot of stuff is in the similar posturing. We're just right back in the ranges, right around, just underneath or just above the horizontal supports, and it's pretty much like that across the board. And so I want time to go by now just to make sure that the bears aren't about to show their big ass claws and come out the caves, because they have been hibernating for a long time. So overall, though, the charts, like this chart still looks perfectly fine. Like straight up. Dash actually looks really good. Dogecoin looks pretty damn good. Let's go see what's on the list. A lot of these aren't going to be on here. Let's see, where was one? Like storage, some of these don't look as good. UMA actually did really good. Look at UMA. Almost coming right back up here to these highs. But again, kind of getting a little bit pressure, maybe double topping. Damn, this is an aggressive move. Holy crap, dude. Yeah, see, so a lot of these, I don't like those super aggressive moves out of these, because they tend to possibly get faded again into. So that's, again, I think I'm just going to keep it simple and go to about 60-70% cash. And just wait and see what happens. Because you always can buy back in. Talk about that a lot on here. Alright, work this time, you stupid code. Oh, 2. Let's go. The verification code has expired. Really? Because you just sent it to me again. I just got a new one. Oh my god, this shit is retarded. Alright, well, maybe. Maybe it'll work eventually. Oh, let's go look at futures real fast. See what they're doing. Just chilling. Not really doing much. It's kind of look bullish as hell still. And that's kind of nice too, that markets didn't dump. Overall, like, equities look fine. Futures look like they're pretty much mostly flat or up. Russell's down a little bit. Shocker, it's been a dog for a long time. I don't know what the hell it's doing with its life. Just trading in this boring range. But actually, I kind of like this. Maybe I might be looking for some dips on Russell to buy, because I still really like this pattern. I would like to see this curl back up a little bit, though. It's getting a little heavy for that. But all the other indices look pretty damn good. NASDAQ pumping up. What are bonds doing? Let's go daily. Yeah, just kind of floating. So the market didn't give a shit about anything that happened to Bitcoin land, which makes it smell a little bit more FUD-like. Especially if that's true about the stupid Treasury. I don't know, whatever the hell it was. It was something about the Treasury Department. Apparently said something. It's probably total BS. It's probably not even real, but let's see. All right, you better work this time, damn it. Maybe. Come on. Come on. All right, I think it's going to work. I think I can do it. All right, do it. Let's go. Third, fourth time's a charm, I think. Okay. We can do it. And yay! It's a success. It finally worked. Jeez, that took fucking way too goddamn long. Anyway, oil. What's oil doing? Chilling. Yeah, see, everything is pretty much just flat, and it's like, dude, whatever. Don't care about none of that BS FUD in Bitcoin land. Ooh, silver. Man, this is going to be a really good trading week, guys. I cannot wait for this one. I'm going to be real excited. It's going to be awesome. I am going to be out of my office tomorrow and Tuesday, though. I'm not sure if I can get the damn shit to work on my laptop. I was having troubles with it the last time I went out of town, but I'm going to go on a little camping trip with my son. And I'm definitely going to be watching some charts. If anything, I'll be able to upload a static video, which I'm going to do for sure. I'm going to try to do a live one. I'm not sure how my internet's going to work, where I'm going and stuff like that, so we'll just have to play that by ear. But worst case scenario, I'm going to send out a static one. And I might try to do one like early in the morning before we leave as well for Monday anyway. But for Tuesday, that one will be guaranteed static, or worst case, obviously none, but we're not going to try to do that. All right, let's see. ZN notes. Euro, what are you doing? Just chilling. Euro, yeah, just everything is set up in very interesting spots for some big boy moves. Man, look at DAX. Just continuation. That's super bullish for traditional markets. All right, so I think that's pretty much just what I wanted to say. If that was crazy to you last night in the crypto, well, welcome. This is how it happens sometimes. Can't say that there's no forewarning with this euphoria and everything. I mean, any one of these days, this is what happens when you get so euphoric. You're just gonna have one of these random just slap you in the face days, like this one back here, a little 13. That one's probably 20-ish. What is this one here? Yes, 18, whatever. So not super, super mega damage, but also not great looking. We just need time to go by now, and hopefully we'll be able to start looking for opportunities here, maybe later even this week, especially if Mama Bear can flip all this around. And let's see, you can kind of look down here at the horizontal for time on the X, and what is the end of the week is? What is the end of the week? Oh yeah, it's 420 on Tuesday, man. Hell yeah, man. Oh, you don't want to care about that. Not that there's anything on there. It's just my little, I'm just trying to say, 420, everyone's favorite, right?
Smoke weed every day.
Let's see. Oh, and you don't care about that. I'm looking at member services for my dealer license stuff, for some car slang in action, which I've talked about a little bit on here on the side, especially on the long streams. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to pretty much leave it there, unless you want me to go look at any tickers, throw those in the box, right, meow, and I'll check those out before I sign off. But I'm pretty sure that's all I wanted to say. I'm using this bounce to de-risk, and just wait. So I'm still going to be exposed to some stuff. Some of the really strong coins like Doge and SOL is, funny enough, actually looks pretty good. But I'm keeping real light. I'm being 70% on the cash side. And just wait for time to go by and see if we can ride up this mama. That's what we want to see. And I don't see no chats. Nope. All right. Well, I'm going to let a little bit of time go because I know there's a lag and all that fun stuff that goes out there, or when it goes through the interwebs. Let's see what Waves did. Waves is a pretty big deal. Yeah, look, this doesn't even look that bad on Waves. That's a stronger chart. Atom looks a little bit heavier, smack dab right in the middle of these ranges. See, the chart either still looks good or it's just right in the middle of the range neutral, even after yesterday. There's so many altcoins that are right in that. I mean, look, even Raven coins, just it's crazy. It's like nothing. How about Bitcoin Gold? A little bit, but yeah, just not super crazy. This market's strong. Hey, what's up, Mr. Josh? Yeah, man, no problem, dude. No problem, man. My pleasure, dude. I wanted to get something out there. Felt like, it's people probably want to hear something about this crazy ass day yesterday. Really, not even crazy day. Let's just zoom in for a second and we'll see how it wasn't even close to a day. It was like literally, what is this? It's $8,000 and not even an hour. And then at the end of the hour, it pretty much only turned into like 5% down, which, hello, did y'all forget? That's nothing in crypto. 5% ain't shit. You have to look at the macro, guys, the big picture. Right now, the big picture is, in my opinion, showing a little bit of hey, let's pause for a second and reestablish, make sure that we still want to run to 70, 80K. One thing that we don't want to see is some daily close below that 55, man, and definitely below this mama level, because as that's like slowly rising here, I think that's would be very problematic. And that might mark the end of the run here. So we don't want to see that. Hey, good thing, though, that we'll know pretty much by probably the end of the month here. So that's nice. And we'll have a really good clue, too, I think, by the end of this week with price action, because that puts us all the way over here, all the way through this. So we can have all this nice zone, and we'll have all, wait, can I draw properly? We'll have all this nice zone right here to have some new fresh candles, and let's see how they act up. So let's go bulls, or hey, if you want to be super bearish, then hey, I guess let's go bears for you. But right now the chart's slightly still bullish above this mid 50s area. Really got to get that daily close below the 55K number. All right, guys. Well, much love. Thanks for tuning in to the lower energy chill stream. And I'm going to go hang out and relax and get ready for the week. Much love. I'll see y'all guys mañana. Probably early in the morning. For live stream, I'll try to pump it out before I leave. It'll probably just be a quick one, maybe like 30 minutes or something. Maybe an hour. I always say it's going to be quick, and then I end up doing this shit for an hour. Or 3, I don't know. It's a mixed bag. But anyway, have an awesome rest of your weekend night. Sleep great for the awesome week ahead for the tradingness. I'm excited. You should be excited. Hopefully we get to start searching for mass opportunities, or maybe you got some balls on you and you took that opportunity last night or earlier this morning, and if you did that, hey, that worked out for you. So far so good, especially when you're coming up to these zones. If you like to put in staggered orders, which you're very welcome, Rock. If you like to put in staggered orders like Josh and our friend, I'll just not say his name, but he loves to do that, and I bet he is loving today, because he'd be spreading them orders. He just peppers them all over the place, like especially in the lower areas, and he's probably real excited today. So, but yep. Anyway, I'm turning the mic off this time for real skis. Peace out. Much love. I'll see y'all tomorrow, and good night.